How's it going, brother?
Yeah, what's up, y'all? How's it been?
Good, man. I'm liking
Life's
that.
good.
I'm liking that hat there, man, with the new logo, brother.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. I got hooked up with this thing a couple of weeks ago. Reached out to a lady kind of local for some embroidery work, and she's like, "Hey, I love your logo. Let me toss one on the hat." It's like, "Oh, cool." Sent this thing in. I was like, "Oh man, oh, this is sweet. You're in my business."
Hell yeah, brother. Got the 1776 there in the background, brother. I love
Oh,
it.
you know how we do. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How's yours
Uh,
been? It's
we've
been a
been
minute.
good. I know it's been a while, man. I think last time we had you on was like COVID times or something, right? It was a couple years back, right?
Yes. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
man.
so.
Yeah, we've been good, man. Just same old, kind of like you, living the dad life, working, hanging out, trying to get better at golf, still terrible, but
Yeah.
grilling some meat. We've been tuning into you the last couple years, man, and
Yeah.
trying to take some tips, man. How's the therapy sessions and everything going? It looks like it's going well.
Man, it has been unreal. We have been just blowing through it all. This year was kind of wild. We kind of turned into this whole started doing events. We really started doing events last year, but boy, it really set off and very meaningful events. They weren't just like, oh, let's go cook here for some reason or for whatever. Um, we partnered up with Boot Campaign, which is a nonprofit veteran organization that I'm really close with. Got to go out with those guys to Midland for the Burning Basin burnout or base, Permian. Well, shoot, I just had a TBI. Um, the Basin burnout, which was a big cookout, but it benefited one national veteran organization, one local. And Boot Campaign was fortunate to be there as a national organization, and they raised some incredible funds with those. So we got to go out there and serve bites. I call them freedom bites, and bring people into the area and just learn more about that organization. And then we got to over over the summer team up with TX Whiskey, and we're going to different military installations across Texas, getting to serve back those Warriors bites as those coming off of duty and headed home and picking up some of their adult provisions from the class sixes and put a little food in their belly as well. And Boot Campaign, we're been doing therapy sessions for their veterans graduating out of their health and wellness program. So it's like, oh, you just thought you were doing therapy. You got one last one. So we're bringing them into our home for one last therapy session
That's awesome.
and a graduation. So it's been it's been unreal. It's been a very humbling, very gratifying, very just and I'm blessed.
Yeah, and like
Jason,
the therapy about it, it's like do you just when you initially got into it, Jason, it was just like the therapy of grilling kind of just got you into it. It's just like that release, because I know I get that feeling too when I cook, You kind of
Yeah,
get your mind kind of chills out, you get into it, you enjoy it. You get to see everybody else enjoying the food you cook, that kind of thing.
yeah. It's from the start of the process of just thinking about, all right, how am I going to attack and approach this cook? To breaking down, like if you're grabbing a whole primal and you're going to break it down or whatever, trimming out your briskets and then your seasoning combination, and then playing around with your temperatures and wood profile and flavor profiles. It all kind of takes everything away from out of here that might be from the negative aspect for a little bit as you're going through that cooking process, and then once it's completed, and then you get to start serving those bites. And I say serve bites because I really believe that's where, looking back on life, serving people those bite and seeing that smile on their face, kind of it was just good. It was helped bring myself out of this kind of bad dark spot. Like what, I'm still able to serve someone in a different capacity now with food, and it is yeah, that from start to finish, it takes your mind off of everything, and you're focused on something other than yourself and what might be noodling around up here. And
Right.
so, yeah,
Jason, talk about obviously we know your passion and what you do for veterans and our military obviously is amazing. But just talk about how much it means to you and especially this time of the year, it's Thanksgiving coming up in a couple days, and just talk about what it means to you and where you want to take this.
Mm. Um, so, with Thanksgiving, I talked about this year really realizing how blessed I truly am. We've had some struggles this year from a personal standpoint, and you guys reached out whenever lost my brother to his demons. Thank you all for that love and support, and then more loss from there. And but we still continue to find blessings through that support. Um, and so, every day we should be thankful, but sometimes we lose sight of that. And with the holiday season coming up and Thanksgiving coming up, really sitting down and reflecting on the last year, the last several years in your life, and pulling out um, all those good things out of the bad that we can be thankful for. So, been trying to spread that message to others because I know the holidays can be very hard for veterans and everyone else alike. We all deal with something and have dealt with something. We all have our traumas and everything else throughout our lives. And so just helping others when seeing that, those eyes might look a little bit tired, when the voice might be a little trembly, things like that, picking up on that and say, hey, what are we thankful for? What has been good over the last day, over the last week, over the last 2 weeks, and just helping people pick those little wins out to help get through this time.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I had to represent your brother tonight with the old Texas, the TX, man. You got us.
Oh, yeah, that's what got
Attaboy.
mine right here. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate you, man. Like I appreciate your message, dude. That's just like, yeah, like we did to go what you're saying, man. It's like, well, my family and my wife, we went through some tough times with her brother passing at a young age a couple years ago, and you go through those deep dark times, which are still with you, as you know, with your personal things that you've been through with your brother. Yeah, and I like what you said there. It's just like even if you can just be thankful for something that happened today, that can make a difference, because you go through those negative points where you're like, man, nothing's good. You kind of keep cycling through your head. You're like, this is terrible. This couldn't be any worse. Um, and then you just you find a way to cope, it's like and I like it too, man, the coping mechanism. I love that too. It's just like I love the symbolism with your what you've came out with, man. It really kind of brings everything together, and I got to get me some of that coping mechanism. I saw that on there because it reminded me, just at least the look of it, and you can explain it to us, is
Mhm.
it looks like the Cosmos spice I like that I put on usually like flank steaks. I don't know if you've ever if there's much Cosmos in Texas, but it's a Texas barbecue spice that I really like, garlic based, and I put on my flank steak. And I just looked at it just from the looks. I'm like, that's my new one. I gotta try. I gotta try
Oh,
Jason's
yeah.
out.
Yeah, we talking about being thankful. And part of the question is like, all right, where do we see this going and where do we continue taking this? And people have been asking for a long time, hey, when are you going to put out your own seasoning or something like that? And I have some really good friends that are very encouraging and like, hey, let's do this together. I was like, okay, let's do this. And so it took, and in that process, I had no idea what to expect. Process. I like to learn the hard way and not ask questions and just do, and then mess up and then do it again. So I thought it was, oh, you find someone that can do it big, you send them a recipe, they send you your recipe back and a batch of bottles. That's not the case. You send them a recipe, comes back, you're like, this doesn't taste anything like what I do at the house. Okay, let's start making adjustments. So you're like, let's go down 10% on this ingredient. Then they go back, they send you a sample. Like, okay, let's go up 10% on this ingredient. So it's a lot of back and forth, back and forth. Um, but we finally got it right. And actually now it's we switched co-packers up, and I I will say it's better than what I can make at my house. It's
That's
better than
awesome.
my home blend.
Great.
And and you know, it's we named it coping mechanism. I felt like that was fitting because of the coping aspect that cooking is for me and so many others that I found out being open in the community. Um, and it's not a barbecue rub. Like my first seasoning is not a barbecue rub. It is a seasoning for any at home cook. Even if you're not that good of a cook and you just like to boil some noodles for ramen, here you go. It is really it is fantastic, literally on everything.
That's awesome. Cause I love
Yeah.
like because my wife and I have been getting, in some of these ruts, with cooking throughout the week
Mhm.
with kids. And I know you do this for a living. But there's times, like we're like, man, like I gotta get like out of these like recipes we keep doing. You get tired of
Mhm.
it. And then you don't have the joy as much, right? Because you're just producing like, food that's edible, but it's not like what you could really do. So then,
Yeah.
like churching it up with a little spice, like even if it's something basic, that is kind of nice, right? Like you could
Hmm.
even put out something that's, your normal little weekday fare, for the kids and stuff, and then you put a little bit of something in it, that's fun.
Yeah. I mean, you can take your normal Tuesday night meatloaf, whatever your Tuesday night dish is, and change up that flavor profile with a different seasoning, and it can be like a brand new dish all over again.
So
That's what I, that's
Uh,
yeah, that's what
is that my new flank steak rub? Is it would be good on a flank? You throw it on a flank, you throw it on like poultry. What do you think it's
oh,
the best? What do you think it's the best on? How do you?
out of your palm,
Anything.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and I say that I had an opportunity. I went dove hunting down in Mexico with Pecos Outdoors and had a great time. And I took some of the prototype bottles down there, and literally the guys were just like licking it out of their palm. I was like,
That's
oh,
awesome.
okay. Well, I guess if I ever get to the point where I can make a thing where like has a cow symbol and poultry symbol and all the different things that's good on, I have to have a hand there to lick it out. But I love it on beef. There, I will tell you, there is no pepper in here.
Hmm.
So if you want some pepper, you're gonna have to add that to there. But it's great. I think I posted a steak on it with just using coping mechanism, no pepper, see that crust it built, things like that, last week maybe. Um, Poultry is phenomenal. One of my turkeys on Thanksgiving will be done up with it.
Nice.
Um, Seafood, vegetables. I use it in like my smoked salsa. That's
Uh-huh.
my go-to, my salsa, my soups. Like it really is. It's so versatile. And I have yet to find anything else like it on the market. So when you guys get your bottles in, I want that feedback. Like, okay, yeah, this guy, I've never tasted anything. This is very unique.
Definitely.
And then wait for number two to come out before we know
Heck yeah, man. I like the
it.
thought of you not peppering it because that's nice because you'll get some and you get that pepper in it and it works for a few different meats or
Hmm.
someone maybe you're hosting for a lot of people you're like all right I don't think they're gonna like a lot of heat, a lot of pepper. So you can kind of tailor it a little bit more, right?
Yeah, and that's where this is like you can use it as a base for anything. And my wife, she's not a big pepper fan, so anytime I'm cooking stuff for, I have to be very cautious on the use of pepper. And you know, first and foremost, I got to cook for her, and if she ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
Right.
So, so yeah, and so any of the fellas listening out there that your ladies don't aren't fans of pepper pork bite, this is one for you. They'll treat her right. So.
So I got to talk to you real quick. So, this kind of is twofold. Obviously I like to cook, and I don't. I'm out on the grill a fair amount. So I have a little the Traeger Silverton that
Mhm.
Costco put out. Love it. Cooked on it 3.5 weeks ago for 40 people, burgers, dogs, whatever. So this morning I said I work at a school. I said I'm gonna do some smoked cream cheese and take it into work. 'Cause the amount of people
Mhm.
that haven't had smoked cream cheese, and once they have it, they want to have it all the time.
Yeah.
Well, I decided to spice it up. I said I'm gonna also cook half a pork loin and take that into work. So I got up at 5 a.m., seasoned it all up, got it ready to go, cream cheese ready to go, cook it together, fire the grill up. Girl don't want to ignite. Like literally it got to 130, 135, and then the temperature just kept dropping. So first, I want to see if you got anything that might be able to help me because I am supposed to cook a pork loin on Thanksgiving in 2 days. Um, Two, I will say though, I didn't give up. I said, you know what? I'm going to throw it in the oven. I'm going to cook that pork loin for about 90 minutes, wrapped it, threw it in a cooler, took it to work. And damn, since I'm working at a school, we got kitchen. So I threw the cream cheese in there. And let me tell you something. You should have seen some happy people having pork loin and cream cheese going into the holidays. So it was a good day. The morning started off pretty crappy because I got up a little early, but um, people at work are awesome. And so that made my day. And so I just want to go there with that.
Man, talk about being able to adjust on the fly. In the military, we call that adjust fire for effect. And that's exactly what you just did. Like you adapted and overcome to not great situations. So kudos to you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Not awesome about the silver. So a couple things to think about on there. When's the last time you cleaned that fire pot out?
Actually, right before, it was probably about 3.5 weeks ago. Now, I will say I cleaned it all out, cooked a lot of burgers. So I'm wondering if that might have something to do with it from that day. So I'll give it that's probably going to be my plan tomorrow is clean it out again.
Yeah, clean that thing out. Try and fire it back up. If it still fails to ignite, make sure your pellets are good, no moisture in those pellets or anything like that. Um, if it still doesn't ignite, then that hot rod in there might be failing you.
Hmm.
So a workaround if need, as long as you can still hear that fan coming on, trying to get going. Uh, you can take all the innards out where you just have your fire pot and you see your pellets. Set your temp, whatever you're going to do, get some sort of flame on there, get them ignited, and then cover it back up, put everything back together, and it'll keep going as long as you have that fan running.
All right. I'll give that a go. I can do
Yeah,
that. That's pretty easy.
I
yeah,
knew he'd have something on the fly.
yeah. We sometimes you gotta over. We'll be out at events, and sometimes I may not have. I forgot to clean one of them, missed a fire pod, or something's kind of going out because I use mine probably more than your normal backyard guy, and so I wear through them quite a bit. And so that was one I figured I was like, oh, I need flame, I need heat, I need fire. So I grabbed like just a little torch and lit them up, put it back together. Yeah, as long as that fan's spinning, you're good.
Good. Yeah, and I can hear the fan spinning. So that was a positive. So
Okay.
hopefully it's just maybe it's the rod or maybe I just need to clean it out and pull the pellets
Could
out and
be.
start over.
Yeah, make sure you don't have any of that buildup underneath the lower lip of that hot rod too, because like if you fills up with that ash, you can sit in there and kind of get crusted up on there and things
Okay.
like that. So,
All
yep,
right.
just
I'll give it
a
a
little
go and I'll let you know.
TLC. Yeah, and reach out if you're still not firing, then yeah, just holler at me.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So my brother and I are frying a turkey. So like
Well,
frying turkey, you got any little hints other than not killing ourselves with throwing a frozen turkey in the fryer, but
that's my one hint. Don't don't die.
don't die.
Don't die. That's a talk about ruining the Thanksgiving, man.
Yeah, that would
Jeez.
not be good.
Yeah. Make sure your oil is at a good steady temp,
Um,
350. And take your time with it. Don't just like, oh, we're 350, go, because that temp may still be climbing. Like stabilize around that 350 mark. That way, when you go in, obviously you're going to cool down some, but it's going to bring it back up with it a little bit of time. That way, you're not scorching it, you're not burning it, anything like that, getting that nasty bitter taste in there. So about 350, make sure
mhm.
that temp stabilized and go for the dunk and then haul ass away.
Heck yeah. You brine yours up, right? In the fridge. I
Mm-hmm.
can't remember because I remember we were talking to you. I think it was thanks before Thanksgiving years back.
Was it?
Because I want to figure out because me and my brother got to get a good one going, because we haven't
Mm-hmm.
we've done, my it was like for years back, my mom doing the oven turkey. We're going to other family members' place, and so it's on my brother and I. So we got to pull it together.
I,
Yeah.
I'll tell you
Um,
what, I've probably been brining my turkey since we've lived in this house for almost a little over 4 years. And about last 3 years I've done it. I bought Meat Church's brine. I bought a different
mhm.
brine today or yesterday, and then I made my own brine last year. It doesn't matter. Somebody said that brining doesn't help. I disagree because it's amazing. Like it just makes it the flavor profile just pop even more. And so whoever says that, I think they're wrong. But brining to me is the only way to go. I mean, even I've brined the pork loin before, and that makes a big difference.
Yeah, I've brined shoulders and all that stuff before, pork shoulders. yeah, if someone says brining doesn't help, then they're probably putting a frozen turkey in that in the dump
Hmm.
and allowing it to fall that route. Then yeah, your brine's not going to help as much. Excuse me, because it's the salt and everything, all the combination not going to be able to penetrate that protein because
Right.
it's frozen solid. And by the time it gets unfrozen, you've done diluted your brine so much, there's nothing really left. So
Yeah.
I've been say maybe the person that says that when in frozen or really close to not completely thawed out. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, I'm a big believer of brine. I had two 14 pounders put in the brine at 6 a.m. this morning. I'll pull them out probably around 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, rinse them off, dry them, and then I'm going to go into the fridge for like a 24-hour air dry queue,
Nice.
air cool dry. Yeah.
Heck yeah, brother.
What's the shortest amount of time you would brine? Because I haven't brined mine yet. So
Uh, I mean, any brine, anything you can do will help. Obviously, the longer you can go in. I think the shortest I've done a turkey is like 16, 17 hours. It was just because I was super busy up at the hospital and I just couldn't get home in time to do it. And I
right.
got up, all the stuff in life, 16 hours, like 16 hours is the shortest time. Um, I've done one. It turned out great. Anything you can get it in to allow that salt sugar mixture do its thing, the better off you are.
Heck yeah.
But you got to make sure if you're going to brine and if you're doing like your own home brine, look at that percentage on the bag. So, I mean, some of these things will be 18% brine. You're best off making your own brine, adding no salt because this thing's, you don't want to be over salty with it because it's
Right.
already sitting in that high salt solution. So, I always like to tell people 6% or less on a brine solution that the bird's sitting in.
Nice. Yeah, that's good. That's good endpoint. I like it, man. What's your go-to, brother? Like you got one dish for Thanksgiving that's your favorite to cook? I mean, I'm sure you love cooking it all, but like what's your favorite, at least to eat or to watch people eat?
Uh, my garlic mashed potatoes.
Heck
Oof.
yeah. The fresh
Yeah,
potatoes you got.
yeah. We potatoes just means a lot to me. It was our main food source. That and beans. Growing up as three boys and a single father trying to raise three grown boys. So, um, yeah. And I've just tried to make it a little better. I keep hoping one day my dad's going to take a bite of those mashed potatoes. And said, "All right, you finally have my approval on the potatoes," but I haven't got there yet.
Yeah, got
I've gotten it
that.
from others. I don't know if I ever will, because I think I get a little too fancy with them for him. But it is what it is. But there's nothing better after you finish up your Thanksgiving meal and you got a little roll over there and stuff full of mashed potatoes, a little slice of turkey, that finishing bite. Yeah, so potatoes for Thanksgiving.
What's
Weird.
your
Go ahead.
go to Thanksgiving dessert?
Oh, probably I do like a smoked bourbon chocolate pecan pie that uh, like I don't say my stuff's good all the time, but this is pretty damn good. Like I try to be humble and stay humble. But this one's it's mighty tasty.
That's solid. Hey, I gotta fire up some of that soup this week. Yeah, I was
Oh
enjoying.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
was,
I was literally
I,
just watching that.
did you, soup
I
comes in
love it.
many forms. We finally had a little cool front come through here in Texas. And so I was like, you know what? I know it's all about Thanksgiving right now, but we needed to drop one of my favorite soup recipes. And so what we did. It just happens to be on the thinner side and full of bourbon. So,
Yeah,
you know.
can't
Love
beat
it.
that. Everything's better with a little bourbon, man.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. And that simple syrup we've been doing, man, for our classes. So in our therapy sessions, we do a smoked old fashioned station. I can't remember if we talked about this last time we got together, but
No.
uh, we have a great relationship with Tex Whiskey, so they provide the brown water for everything, and we do a smoked old fashioned station. Well, whenever the smoked old fashions were really coming on board, getting popular down here, you go and it's this huge production lift up this white billowing smoke, and it's a beautiful presentation. But man, for me, it's bitter. It is a super
Mm,
bitter uh, sip, and so And really the reason behind that is it's that thick white billowing smoke, which we call dirty smoke, which is also full of creosote. Creosote, that nasty, dirty smoke, is what has more carcinogenics in it. And so I wanted to set out to figure out a way to do a smoked simple syrup or a smoked old fashioned that wasn't full of all the cancerous stuff. Having the healthcare background and whatnot. And so developed a couple variations of the smoked simple syrup and then smoke our fruits. And so I feel a little bit better, aiding with a little bit of liver damage versus lung cancer and things like that with our old fashions. So yeah, so it's been a really that recipe I posted today has been just really well accepted during our therapy sessions.
That's great, man. Where can our listeners get out? Because I was checking out your new your website and everything's looking good. Let them know, where can they find you? They know where to find you on Instagram if they've listened to us before, Meet Therapy, but let them know.
Yeah, so you can head over to meettherapybbq.com to check out all the good things we're doing. Sign up for that newsletter. We shoot one out once a month, kind of tell you what's coming online, events we may be at, special releases, whatnot. And then all the different socials, meet.therapy.
Heck yeah, brother. Dude, we enjoy having you on, man. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Jason, you're awesome.
you're one of our only second time guests, man. We love it.
Oh, I am honored. Thank y'all so much.
You're
I
one of the
feel good about
staples,
that.
brother.
I know. And when you got that message, was it? Did you message me, Mark or
Yeah,
Chris?
yeah, message you.
Brett.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, so I texted wife real quick. I was like, I know the in-laws are coming in town, but I got to talk to them. Y'all were like one of the first podcasts to reach out and see if I wanted to join. And so I was like, absolutely. They've been so supportive and just everything we're doing. So she's like, yep, go for it. I was like, oh, thank you. All
Thank you.
right, I'll make you an old fashioned whenever it's done.
Well, and
Make you some soup.
I just want to say, like, and I know Mark feels the same. And anytime we post anything that we're grilling and everything, and maybe tag you in it, or if you see it, you're always commenting and say, hey, or so and that might not be us, it might be somebody else, but that goes a long way for a lot of people. So we appreciate you and appreciate what you're doing for our veterans and not just the veterans, for others. And so and you got a good thing going, man, and we appreciate you, and we want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. So
Yes, I appreciate you guys and happy
Che-
Thanksgiving to y'all. And you know what? Well, I like to tell everybody, don't F up the turkey.
Don't F up the turkey,
Cheers.
cheers.
brother.
Cheers,
Cheers,
boys.
brother.
Cheers.
You take it easy, brother. We'll check in with you soon, man.
Sounds
Have a
good.
good
Thank you
Thanksgiving.
guys.
Tell the family we said hey. All right.
I will.
All
Thanks,
right, brother.
Jason.
Take it easy,
Bye,
man.
y'all.